Welcome to Wisconsin in Focus. I'm Benjamin Yount, the Wisconsin correspondent here for the Center Square. Usually I'd be here with Dan McCaleb, but he's enjoying a much-needed summer day off. Hopefully not too hot. It's going to be a very warm Labor Day weekend here. We're recording this here on Thursday, August 31st, the last day of August, and the beginning of what could be an impeachment trial here in the state of Wisconsin. Over the past couple of days, we've had two lawmakers go on the record to talk about impeaching brand new Wisconsin liberal Justice Janet Protasiewicz. Protasiewicz, if you have been listening to Wisconsin in Focus or reading along with the Center Square in Wisconsin, was elected in, rather large fashion last spring to fill a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. It is the most expensive judicial race in American history, namely because the stakes are very, very high. Protasiewicz made a point during her campaign to talk about Wisconsin's abortion law. It is a pre-Roe 1849 law that essentially bans almost every single abortion in the state. Protasiewicz said it was her personal opinion that women should be able to choose what they want to do about abortion. The court has been asked to strike Wisconsin's abortion law down. In fact, it was asked almost immediately after Protasiewicz took her spot on the court. The court's also been asked to deal with Wisconsin's political maps. Redistricting is the formal name. Remap is the way that a lot of reporters like to refer to it. Protasiewicz said again during the election that she thought the maps were unfair and rigged for Republicans. During the campaign, she was roundly criticized by a number of current and former judges, as well as Republican politicians and some judicial watchdogs, for offering an opinion on a case that she was certain to rule on. That certainty's come true. A number of progressive groups have sued over those maps and asked the new Protasiewicz court to go ahead and redraw maps. They want them done before the next election next year. In fact, those maps would all but kick 12 Republican senators out of office. So this is not just a small request. There has been momentum building over the month, because, again, Janet Protasiewicz was sworn in just at the beginning of August, for her to recuse herself from the redistricting cases, for her to step aside and say, because of what I said during the campaign, I will not rule on this case before the court. Republicans have suggested that she should. There have been a number of lawsuits going back and forth, and now, this week, State Senator Dan Knodl from Germantown said that there is going to be a compelling case going forward that would be concerning if Protasiewicz sat on the court and ruled on the maps. This is the first time that a senator has said, yes, I think we should take a look at impeachment, and Knodl is very, very keen on this. He heads the Senate Elections Committee. You have another senator from Racine, Senator Van Wangard, another Republican, who also was talking about impeachment this week, though he wasn't talking about Protasiewicz and the remap case specifically. He was talking more about a scandal that has engulfed the inner workings of the Wisconsin Supreme Court. In addition to taking the liberal majority, the court now has flipped its inner workings. The liberal majority fired Wisconsin's longtime court administrator and quickly replaced him with another judge of their choosing. There are some conservatives in the state who say that nomination in and of itself is unconstitutional because the new court administrator was serving as a judge, and judges are not supposed to take new jobs during their term. That's how these things are supposed to work. But this week we also saw a number of emails going from Wisconsin's conservative Supreme Court Chief Justice to the court administrator, accusing the court administrator of a coup for essentially signing judicial orders with the Chief Justice's name, even though the Chief Justice never gave permission for the court administrator to do it. Inside baseball, yes. But it is that scandal that has Van Wangard saying that all options need to be on the table when it comes to this new liberal majority court. To make matters more interesting, Wisconsin law allows for an impeachment with a simple majority vote in the state assembly, which Republicans have, and a 2/3 majority vote in the state Senate, which Republicans also have. There was a story earlier this week that said Wisconsin Republicans could impeach Protasiewicz without removing her from the court simply by voting in the assembly and then waiting to act in the Senate. That would move her off the court immediately, meaning she couldn't hear the redistricting case. Now, Protasiewicz has not said what she intends to do about recusal, about the remap case, or about the abortion case, but this is a story that is going to become very, very large, not just here in Wisconsin, but again, across the country, because as goes Wisconsin in the 2024 elections, so likely will go the White House. So, in other words, stay tuned. You can find out more about this story and others over at thecentersquare.com. I'm Benjamin Yap, the Wisconsin correspondent. Please subscribe, and thanks for listening.